Yo, what's up, people? Dyson Knight, along with Dr. Ken Bazard.
Yo,
Um, Warren Knowles will be joining us in a minute, and this is episode 28 of the Sup'm Show, where we were discussing Superman. Da, 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 da. Is he a simp?
Superman the
And
Simp.
is Clark Kent the alpha?
Clark
Now,
Kent the Alpha.
I have absolutely no clue where the fellas are going with this, so I'm just here for the ride.
We
No
can let this
ruckus,
one.
man. You on time. It's we who late. We a minute late.
We can let this one just flow.
I got my blue light behind me because I am the side of Clark Kent. I can't say if he's an alpha or if he's a simp. But ladies and gentlemen, let's see where this is gonna go. What's up, Warren? You didn't say nothing yet. What happened?
I'm trying to decide on the all to who's Superman or Clark Kent.
Hmm. Ken is definitely Superman. I like to take the role of Clark Kent.
I, you know something? I never liked Superman.
Same
Never,
here. Never.
never, ever, ever, ever like Superman.
Why
No,
y'all get the heck up out of here, but how you could
I
not like
was,
Superman?
I was always a Batman fan. Always.
Same,
I
same here.
was, I was never a Superman fan.
But I
Never.
like Batman too. You can't like both. I
No.
even like the Joker.
Yeah, I like the Joker, but I mean, I always like Bat. It's always Superman v Batman. I always prefer Batman versus Superman. Always,
Batman
always.
always had Batman had okay. The only thing about Superman I did not like is that I think he could have found a better gal. I mean, if you're Superman, you should be able you should,
And,
So,
and,
you should
and,
be
and, and that is
Lois.
why we're on this topic today.
Lois,
so, so,
really?
so let's set the stage.
Go ahead, Ken.
You need to go with some
So
Beyonce or something, man.
last
He's
week,
Superman.
last week, Brother JP said,
Put it
he-
on me. Okay. I'll take it.
no, you brought it
I
up. That's why
will
we're here.
take it, sir. Put it
Batman
You
on
brought
me.
it up.
Go ahead.
Wait. What the hell?
You mentioned last week that you illustrated or you elaborated on the story between Superman and Lois Lane.
Yes.
And what we discussed was or what you said was the fact that Lois Lane out Superman on lock. And when you said that, like
Yeah.
something went off in my head. I was like, you know
Go
what?
ahead. Exactly. Because we talked about this directly after the show, me and you.
Like that's some real shit. Like Superman will
Y'all
let
left me out.
people die.
Yeah.
I mean, die to save Lois Lane. And let's not act like that shit ain't never happened. That shit happened.
Yes, it did.
All right.
And
So
hey. And the reason why we some Batman ass niggas, right? Go ahead, Ken. Let them know what Batman accomplished. Go ahead.
well, to jump to the end of the story,
Dyson lost on this one. Look at his face.
Batman did end up dating Lois Lane, and she was ready to marry him actually.
Yep.
And he chose his purpose over Lois because she was like, "Are you going to stop doing this for me?" And he was like, "No, I'm not going to stop doing this for you."
That's right.
And so they couldn't work out. All right, but let's not jump to the end. Let's stay where we are.
Okay, but
So
hold on, before we go any further, the point of this exercise is to establish how is this related to real life? Because we want to bring it home. I mean,
okay,
I want to
Let me
keep it grounded,
let me interject just a slight point here. Not to take
right?
nothing off of Ken, because he gonna double up on what I say too, because we feel the same way on this. This is why we can't put a topic.
So
Here's
I
the
go
thing.
in the next direction then. Go ahead.
Here's why it relates to real life, right? Because looking at Superman with all the powers in the world,
Yeah,
an alien, faster than a
yeah,
speeding bullet,
yeah.
stronger than a locomotive, can leap a building in a single bound. I'm going back to 1940s description of Superman on y'all. Okay.
Okay.
All of that right there. And it still is not enough for Lois Lane.
So Superman is the in real life, he is the man that gives the woman everything she wants. Is that
No,
Well, look
no,
look at it like this. Look at it like this. The original Superman, 1930s, 1940s Superman was supposed to be the ultimate male, right? He's the
right?
Superman.
The
That's where
perfect
the name
catch.
came from. He's the ultimate
Right,
male.
right,
Bullets bounce off his chest. He's
yep.
fast. He's fast. He's strong. He's ridiculously handsome, and
Like you want
he's
to describe NJP right now. Anyway, go ahead. Stop describing me, bro. It ain't my turn yet. Go ahead.
right. And he can pretty much do anything. He saves the lady at the end of the day, and blah blah blah. Right? The bad
right,
guys are afraid of him, and so on and so forth. Ultimate
right.
protector. They never really addressed the provider aspect of Superman. But when you fast forward into, when I say modern day, I'm talking about, let's say, 1990s Warner Brothers Superman
Okay.
animation, right?
Hmm.
That's probably the more prominent, one of the more popular Supermans that people are more conscious of.
That's
The
Superman, the animated series.
Yeah, Superman the
Yeah,
animated series and Christopher Reeve Superman, those two
yeah.
guys. All right,
Hmm.
Okay.
those two Supermen were were first of all, and let's define simp after this. They were absolute simps for Lois Lane, right? And to the point where both of those versions of Superman, even though they were pushed forward, they're pushed forward and promoted as the ultimate version of what a male should be. They still, the biggest weakness, and was exploited every single time this weakness was exploited by all his villains, was
Yeah.
Lois Lane.
Yep.
Every single time. If you want to get Superman,
Go through
grab
Lois.
Kidnap,
Lois Lane.
kidnap Lois Lane.
All you got to do is grab Lois Lane.
That's it.
And you got Superman will do whatever you tell him to do if you grab Lois Lane. That's all you got to do.
So Superman is the type of guy in real life that is weak to his love for his woman.
He's weak because of his feelings. I'm not even sure his love, but I'm saying he's weak because of his feelings towards Lois Lane. So let's define a simp real quick. Let's define a simp. What is a simp?
Right.
We.
JP,
Why you gotta be hard up to me?
because you're the simp expert, bro. What is a simp?
Really?
Yeah,
No, I mean you
you
the
throw,
you
you throw that
you
around a lot.
you. I've heard the best definition of a simp from you, bro. Seriously.
Okay. A simp is, in my definition, according to Google and me, before I even look it up on Google, is a man that will do whatever it takes to satisfy a female, even if it means putting himself on the back burner. That means he will
And
defy his
others.
family. Was that?
And others. Himself
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's
others.
what I'm saying. He will defy his family, his children, his wealth, his resources, whatever it takes to satisfy that female, and then what makes him an extra simplest in return is not reciprocated. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
a simp. All
So
right.
that's a simp.
Mhm.
That's a simp.
And
So
Superman, we say he is definitely a simp because Lewis used to have him
unlock,
on lock,
and she did it.
right?
She did it on purpose,
Yep.
and let's even say she exploited it. She exploited it
Mm.
from time to time. She exploited it. I remember many times once a criminal grabbed her, she would ask him, "Do you know who I am?"
Ah,
Yep.
ah.
Listen, man, I'm deep in this. I'm deep in this stuff. Okay,
Same.
she said to
So,
criminals many times, "Do you know who I am?" And when they
so
realize who she is, they know that Superman will stop fighting Darkseid to come and save Lois Lane. They
Yep.
know that. They know
Hmm.
that.
This time, Darkseid about to drop the biggest meteor to kill off the whole entire planet. He will drop that.
So, but is it okay? Obviously, and I think this hits the target when I say this. Obviously, what we're trying to point out here is that if you allow yourself to be governed by your feelings for someone who expects that you would drop everything to give her to give that person time and attention, or like they just feel lonely, like they would draw and they would, because you would say, okay, of course she was in trouble, but she may have put herself in harm's way simply because she wanted to pull Superman to her in order to get that attention that she wanted. So it wouldn't be like she probably would have yelled out, "Oh crap! I break my nail," and Superman will whoosh in and bring out a whole new nail
No,
from
bring
a
bring a
different
whole
plant,
new salon
right? So we're
and
saying
China
that,
along with it to fix them.
and that type of behavior would result in people literally dying. Now, here's the question I have. I have two questions. One, is a woman wrong for wanting that type of attention? And two, does is it really, with great power comes great responsibility? Is it Superman's responsibility to be saving the entire world when he have a woman who whom and want juice or some, or I mean like apple juice or orange juice, or she hungry or something like that? Yeah.
Can I,
Yeah,
man?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen. First off, no, it's not his responsibility to Earth. But if he really feel that way, he need to take his ass back to Krypton, where he's from.
Krypton, it
No
destroyed.
Krypton, right?
Well, we'll
He
go
have to
back to
live
some
here.
other planet. If you listen, he put himself in a situation. We're not
Go back to
talking
his
about. Listen,
go back to
we're
his
not
ship.
trying to say that he shouldn't be doing these things. Don't get it twisted. That's not what we're trying to say here. What I'm trying
Okay.
to say is that don't lose sight of the mission, the purpose. The mission must continue. In other words, if you into a mission ongoing, you can't drop the mission to go accommodate something that's this big in the grand scheme of things. Just because, you know, this particular
Hmm.
person feels I need to be accommodated right now. And let me address Ruckus. You said that Batman is weak to Selena Kyle and Vicky Vale, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about Superman and Clark Kent. We ain't talking about Batman. We're just trying to say that between the two, okay, Batman is more focused. Batman is more for the mission. Superman is more for the feelings. So it goes to say that, in other words, if you're more in tune with your feelings, it will lead you wrong every step of the way.
Hmm.
You have
When,
to
when,
be in tune with logic, not
So
feelings.
let's give Clark Kent some shine, right?
Go ahead.
So uh,
I'll let Ken take this one since his name is Ken.
Clark Clark Kent Clark Kent, for obvious reasons, had to ensure that he never presented himself as Superman. So that means he had to present himself as the total opposite. I can't save nobody. I can't just that. Let's leave it at that. I cannot save you. I'm only a reporter, right? This is Clark Kent. And let's go through his history, and then try to relate him to a real life person, or a type of real life person. Kent.
so real simple. This is real easy, bro. Um, so in Superman the animated series, I think it was what's the name of the episode? I think it's called The Greatest of All Time or something like that. When Batman finally met Superman. When Batman from the animated series finally met Superman from the animated series.
Hmm.
What had happened was, um, long story short, There was an issue in Metropolis. Bruce Wayne had to come to Metropolis. Well, let me start with Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Following up on what you said, Clark Kent was always himself. And I applaud Clark Kent because I was that guy. I was the nerd guy with the glasses, believe it or not. I was the guy with the glasses. I was the guy afraid to talk to girls. I was the guy who girls wouldn't talk to. I was that guy. I
This
was
is
that guy
true.
who
This
I
is
was the
true.
guy. I'm serious. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm the guy who liked the prettiest girl in the class, but the
It's
prettiest girl
true.
in the class wouldn't give me the time of day.
No
I'm
lies
that
detected.
guy.
No
We can
I'm
lies
come
that
back
detected.
to
guy.
that. We can come back
So
to that.
so
Let's move on.
No lies
so
detected. Go ahead, brother.
no, no, no. I always tell JP I had to work hard
Yeah,
to
he
get my
does.
girl. He had to work. He just had to just blink his eye a couple of times. I had to work. I had to work. I had to work. I had to talk. I had to be entertaining. I had to be something. But the point
Right.
is, what I'm making is, Clark Kent always stayed true to himself, and that's why we're calling him uh uh um
The alpha.
thing. That's why we're calling him the alpha. He always stayed true to himself. He was like, this is who I am. This is what I have to offer you. I feel strongly about you, and this is what I have for you. And is this what
Mm,
you want or not? And
mm.
the only fault I would give him is that I think he chased her for a little too long. And I know it was
Clark.
because of this. I know it was because of the story. It's because of continuity and universes and all these things. But in real life, he shouldn't have pursued her for that long. Because Clark Kent is still an attractive guy. Is Superman with glasses on? Jesus Christ!
Right.
He's he's at least as attractive as Superman is. He must have the same body type that Superman has, right? He's
Right.
not a
Yep.
fat
Right.
dude. He's not some fat, ugly guy. It's the same
He's
flipping guy with glasses on.
he's
Okay?
right.
So Lois Lane cannot perceive that this guy is Superman.
Got
Do you
you.
realize how ridiculous that is?
I
She
got you.
cannot perceive that this guy could
Hmm.
be her Superman because he is a reporter from Smallville who from the country and he grew up on a farm. He's a lowly reporter. He makes $50,000 a year, and he lives in a little apartment. Now, the episode, the greatest. As soon as Bruce Wayne landed in his private jet, boom! He walks off the plane. He asks Lois Lane out on a date, and the next day she wants to marry him. The next day,
Yep.
the, the next day, or the day after that, she wants to marry him.
In the Bahamas, we would say that she's a nobody. she's a,
Do you understand?
she's a
You
nobody
understand?
trying to be somebody. Right. Okay.
So this is why I'm saying I'm not saying Bruce Wayne is not an alpha, but I'm saying I believe Bruce Wayne is really a true alpha. But my problem with as far as Superman and Clark Kent, which is what we're talking about today, comparing world's finest. Thank you, Ruckus man. Um, Comparing Superman and Clark Kent, I don't think Superman is the alpha. Clark Kent is the alpha,
Yep.
and Superman is the simp.
You know,
It's
So
really,
Superman
it's
is
really simp.
Superman. Superman is what I call the white knight with the cape on. Now, when I say white knight, I don't mean skin color. Okay, we're not talking skin color here. In my terminology for myself,
all day.
in my mind, a white knight is someone that'll just save somebody from something that they obviously know is wrong. The person that's doing it know they're wrong, and because they know they can be saved, they continue doing it. Does that make sense? So the
Yeah.
one that swoops in and saves that person is the white knight on a horse with the shining armor.
Give me a second though. So Clark Kent represents regular, hardworking, focused on family, doing things the right way. Do it. He is what in the real world we'd consider a nice guy.
Yes,
He's a
she
clean
was,
guy.
brothers. Yes, she was.
That guy's got no criminal record, no outside children, no sweetheart,
And
nothing.
Lois wanted nothing to do with him.
Nothing to do with it.
Nope.
She wanted the one who all the other gals running after, the one
Correct.
who could
Fly.
save her,
One who could fly.
the one who could fly. Oh, because Bruce also had a plane, that's why she was all about that life too.
I mean,
Okay,
I found it very surprising, and I have to again talk hard to Clark Kent because even after that episode, he still was chasing her. You understand what I mean?
yeah.
After I witnessed that, I would have been like, I'm not chasing her anymore. You ready to
So
marry
it's
this dude? This dude walk off the plane. You going out on one date, probably juice that night, and then you ready to marry the guy like just like that?
Apple juice, people, apple juice.
I'm sorry, apple
yeah,
juice, and you ready to marry the guy just like that?
that was more like mango juice probably.
I would have never asked her out again. I would have never flirted with her again. That would have been it.
I mean, but so are we saying, are we reinforcing the worldwide? I guess you'd call it. A lot of people think this anyway. That it's the you need clout, money, things in order to get the girl that you desire. Was there another option for Superman or let's use Batman, I guess. Let's just branch off and use Batman, seeing as though he probably, in his episodes, he probably was exposed to more love attractions than Superman was, because Superman was always, Lewis. Um, Lois. Is it, hmm, see, I'm trying to bring this now into reality. Can we say that Bruce Wayne, Batman, um, maybe even Iron Man, who has a lot of personality similarities to Batman. Um, and he run through plenty gals. Let's use Iron Man because he could fly too. Iron Man had an attraction in the movies. Um, Someone that he respected, someone who didn't really give him the time of day on a intimate sexual level, but when he was ready to settle down and be serious, they kind of coupled up. That was, I don't know what the girl name, the one who
Miss
was his
what's
assistant.
her name? Man, I forgot her name.
You mean the
Ruckus,
girl
what's her name?
that you mean the girl that works for Mr. Assistant?
Miss Potts.
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts.
Right, right. So can we say, hmm, what can we say? What is does it is it that we're saying, don't try to save everybody? Do try to
No,
save everybody. Stay
I
on the
think
mission. Don't allow women to.
I think what we're saying is, and you know what, my wife just said this to me a couple of days ago because she had to interview some persons for
Thanks, Ruckus.
she had to interview some persons, right? And you know what
Hmm.
she said to me after she talked to a bunch of people and one of them was a male. You know what she said to me? She said, "Kent, you know what? It's nothing like a man who's focused." You know what I mean? And that kind of hit me hard. I hope she's listening. I didn't forget that because I got to remember to keep my focus. That keep me in check. And she say shit
Yeah,
like that. And you need a
yeah.
woman like that who can keep you in check. And that's what Potts was for Iron Man.
Iron Man.
For
Iron
Yep.
Man.
for for
Right.
for Iron Man. What's his name again?
Pepper Potts,
Uh,
bro.
No, what's Iron
no, no,
Man's
no,
name?
no. Iron Man's real name was
Stark. Tony Stark.
Stark. Tony
Tony
Stark.
Stark.
So
Yeah.
that's what Potts was for Tony Stark. She was that woman who kept him in check and kept him on his game. And she kept him on
Right.
his game before they were in a relationship. That's why he hired her, He didn't hire her
Right.
because she was cute and because she was sexy. He hired her because she could do the goddamn job. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
She wasn't scared
And
of
she
him.
did the job. She did the job very well. And eventually they ended up in a relationship. Fine. And even in a relationship, she still kept him in check. And I mean,
That's it right
that's
there.
a good check. That's the kind of check you want. You want a woman to keep you in check like that. You
That's it
don't
right
want a
there.
woman to keep you in check like Lois Lane check. Because Lois Lane check will get you killed, bro.
Yep.
You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? Lois Lane kind of check will get you killed, and she's gonna move on to Bruce Wayne when she's done with you.
Yep.
Okay?
Mm,
So that's the whole message
Do you
about
see
what
where
we
we going with this now, Dyson?
that's the whole message
yes.
about what we're saying
Yes.
here. That's the whole
Mm,
message. So you want a Pepper Potts, and I think my wife is close to the Pepper Potts, and every man should be looking for a Pepper Potts. Pepper Potts added value to Tony Stark. She
right.
added value.
Yep.
Now you can even look at Mercy and Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor, I don't remember any incidents of him actually getting with Mercy because I never seen Lex Luthor with a woman, bro. Lex Luthor is focused as hell. I've never seen him with a woman.
Hey, not
Somebody,
only that, we with no powers.
he's got no powers and he is
No
focused.
powers.
He is focused as the F word, bro. The dude is focused. And he is one of the most powerful villains in that universe. And he got no powers, zero.
None.
Right.
Because he's so focused. You don't see him with no check. You don't see him on no beach with no drinks. You don't see him doing none of that dumb stuff. You don't see him buying no Gucci and all that garbage. You don't see him doing none of that stuff, bro. That
Right.
dude is all about promoting and progressing himself. And he got Mercy on his side. And Mercy, I don't ever see, please someone correct me, but I've never seen him touch Mercy in any type of, I've never seen him get sexual or to any kind of way at all like that. I've never seen that. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Ruckus. Ruckus say Lex used to date Lois. So
He
that
did,
is that
he did,
Boy,
like, he did.
Lois Lane sound like she for the streets, boy.
boy, she is a
Lois
woman
She
Lane
of
is
gets
for the,
the
around.
Lois Lane is for the streets. Lois Lane is for the
Ooh-wee.
streets. Lois Lane is for the streets. I'm gonna post that tomorrow. Lois Lane is for the streets.
Lois, Lois, Lois. I mean, you just
Lois Lane is
everywhere.
for the streets.
Lois Lane is for the streets, bro.
I mean,
Bruce
who is
Wayne,
writing her
Lex
script?
Luthor,
Jesus.
Clark Kent, and Superman. She's for the streets.
Come on,
I love
Ruckus. Who else, man? Seem like you do something.
Lois
Hey,
Lane
Ruckus,
made
come on.
it.
Sound like you been with Lois Lane, bro. You know,
Lois Lane for the streets.
for the streets, man. Jeez. So you see
So
what I'm saying, Dyson?
yeah, yeah, I get it.
So basically, the all-powerful Superman is still not enough. You want to know why? You know why he ain't enough? Because he don't stay on his purpose and on his mission. So therefore, she will lose attraction to you. That's
All
how
right,
it
so let's drop
relates
the
to the two
lesson.
worlds.
Let's drop the lesson because I do believe this. I believe this with all of my heart that the mission is to, with purpose, continue to build self. And if you are a positive, if you are a positive person, you are a good-hearted person. You're not into no
Those two
darkness.
streets.
You you focus on self makes you a better human being that everyone around you can benefit from,
Yep.
right? So
Really.
that's basically who is saying that Clark Kent is someone that was always trying to better himself. We know that he tried to get a good job. He tried to be the best reporter. He was even in competition, I think, with the other reporters, Lois being one of them. Um, and his thing was to do. He was very grounded with whom into his family, his adopted family, and all this other type of stuff. Like he was that guy chasing
Yeah.
the right way of doing things. Superman, however, he was a cheater because you can't just fly where you gotta go. You have to buy a ticket, right? It just ain't fair. Like he was cheating life. He was using his superhuman power to make himself more of a global commodity because didn't I think in the last series I was watching, the government was fighting over him and telling him if he's not gonna align himself with us, then we don't want you doing anything for anybody,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? Um, and maybe that would have been his that probably was what Lois wanted. Like, you're gonna be with me. You could do your little hobby thing. You could go out there and do your little have your little
Say
fun.
hobby. Say hobby. I'm gonna save a
You-
plant right quick. That's
yeah,
my
you could go
hobby.
save a planet, but if it means that you're not gonna be here by the time it's time to go to the movies or to the banquet or to the
Bruce
ball,
Wayne on speed call.
right, and don't show up as Clark Kent. You need to come as Superman, and we need to gracefully glide in across the red carpet together so that everybody could see. If you're not
But
giving me
hey,
that,
wasn't it a point? I could be mistaken. Was it not a point when he revealed to her that he is Clark Kent?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Just double checking.
all right. So Ruckus is introducing me to a whole another concept, um, which is a relationship between Superman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
After
interesting. That was interesting because that was interesting. He did move on eventually, and I haven't. I'm not current with Superman. I can't lie, but I know he did move on eventually, depending on
that's a
which universe you follow. Because in one universe, Superman and Lois had a child, and then in another universe, they never got together. I think she even married Luthor in one universe, and then he ends up with Wonder Woman, right?
so let's
By the way,
explore
by
the
the way,
dynamic of
quick side note: Batman said the most dangerous person in their universe is Wonder Woman because if Wonder Woman allows her emotion and she gets angry enough and she allows her emotion, the whole universe is going to be destroyed. That's what Batman said. Just had to point that in there.
so
Good,
so now here we have two emotional people hooking up.
good. Right, right. Because
Yep.
Wonder Woman is full of emotion. But anyway, go ahead. Tell the story.
Yeah, so let's explore that dynamic. Let's now say that Superman is a simp because he can't separate his emotions from his attraction to this female in order to continue staying on plan. He would stop saving. He would stop the media. Well, he would stop trying to block the media to go in and make sure that she gets to her nail appointment on time, right? So now hooking up with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman would be who is she? What type of female can we relate? Um, she would represent what kind of female? She would represent the kind of female that
The
has her
strong
own
and
power, has her
independent.
own strength, yeah, has her
Strong and
own power,
independent.
has her own strength,
Right,
and doesn't so much need a Superman.
right.
And fi- surprisingly enough, maybe it's the saying that opposites attract because wasn't Wonder Woman in love with a pilot? But they
Well,
like them
she
flying boys, though. They like them flying
and she
boys.
dated Batman as well. She dated Batman too. She dated Batman too, who has no power again.
Right.
So
So
it was
so
like all of them for the streets.
Yeah.
but it's more it would we say from the characterization of these characters, the personality of these characters, that it's safer that Wonder Woman date in Miss Independent Woman, Miss Powerful Woman dates uh, a Batman, a Clark Kent, a I forget what the pilot name, who she was seeing, or Bruce Wayne, because she needs guidance and balance of her emotional state.
Well,
And
the pilot thing didn't last. The pilot
because he
thing,
died.
yeah, yeah. So I guess we don't know what that dynamic would be. We could speculate on that, but
Actually, yes, we do. In the last Wonder Woman movie, um, he came back to life
Which I didn't watch, by the way.
because of the wish stone.
yeah, I didn't
Does
watch it.
So
I
so
don't
there's
know.
this wish stone. There's this wish stone, and it would give you your deepest desire. Um, and the whole thing was at the end of the day, the wish stone was commanded by this bad guy who decided that he was gonna give the power of the wish stone to everybody. He was just gonna grant wishes to everybody. Oh, the return is that what you love most, you would have to sacrifice in return for whatever it is that you wish for. So so it ended up happening, and sorry for people who haven't watched the movie. It was a very emotional, very in your feelings type situation. Um, I, it's been a long time. Everybody got what they wanted. Everybody made their wish and got what they wanted, and the entire world was freaking chaos.
Okay.
Buildings was tumbling down, planes was flicking, crashing because people would just wish, oh, I hate this person. I wish they would die. You see what I'm saying? So, and it was like the immediate gratification of what you felt in a moment, in a split second. And that is the power that a person that wow, this is deep. That is the power that a powerful person has, that an independent person that has has all of this stuff, including the attention of someone that actually loves them and cares about them. They have the power to completely flick and ruin them.
So that's probably what attracted Lois to Superman, and Lex Luthor. The fact that these guys probably have the power to provide her with her wishes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Is that so?
Hmm.
So is that the reason why? Um, based on a video I saw earlier today, is that the reason why Instagram models want to date 6 and 7 figure men?
Wish
You know,
granted.
so
Because
you
because
don't.
I don't personally think an Instagram model deserves a 6 and 7 figure man. I think an Instagram model is a side chick at most. At
Yeah,
best, I think an Instagram girl is a side chick.
yeah, but that's what they deserve. Yeah, because that's what when a six-figure guy dates an Instagram model, he doesn't date her because he wants to marry her.
But
I mean,
they expect to be treated like Wonder Woman though.
Well.
without
In all honesty, whether it be a side chick,
I ain't
a
gonna lie.
wife, a girlfriend, or whatever, a longtime partner, they all want to be treated like Wonder Woman.
Right.
That's just the biology of a female makeup. That's just how they are.
Yeah,
And
but see,
very few females are Wonder Woman.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The lesson here is that, if it's me and I am willing to treat you like how you feel you supposed to be treated because you think you're Wonder Woman, but you ain't got no powers, you don't have no independence, you don't have your own status to match mine, then what I am doing is I'm telling you what you want to hear until I'm done doing what I want to do. So that need to be, and I don't think that that's not even an uncommon lesson right now. I think by now women should know that's the case. Now I know there are some people. I mean, it's probably part of the reason why. Warren, you tell me what you think, but it's probably reason why they kind of like pushing this whole um, campaign of calling men narcissists and saying that we this and we that, simply because they want everything, they want all of their wishes to come through, but they don't want to be the type of person that deserves.
Listen,
I saw. Go ahead.
in my opinion, right? It doesn't. Whether you, it's okay. On one hand, if you're not on your purpose and on your mission, right, you're considered a bum, a loser. You can agree to that?
I agree
Yeah.
to that.
Okay.
Right.
On the other hand, when you're too focused, you're considered narcissistic
I agree with
and
this.
whatever else comes along with it. So
Right.
my whole thing is this: the majority of the modern day women nowadays, I consider, are like little children, bro. You cannot satisfy them either way. Too much to the left is a problem. Too much to the right is a problem. And like my brother Ken said, the majority of these women nowadays don't deserve anything. They don't deserve it because, in my opinion, you can't just show up to a situation that's ongoing, already built from a man's perspective. If okay, it's gonna get deep. Bear with me here. If I spend, let's say, between the ages of 17 all the way up to 35, 40, because men, we get it later. What do you want to do? Get our shit together. We get it later on in life. Very few men get it early. Okay?
Right. Right.
If I spend a decade getting my life together to the point that I'm financially stable, okay? I drive a nice car. I got a great house. My credit score is great. You have to be very selective who you let in your circle, bro. You cannot let a female in your circle just for the mere fact that she got a big ass, she's pretty, and she giving the coochie. You cannot do that. I mean, you can do it.
You could do it,
Prime
but don't let her
example.
in the circle. You could
Prime
do
example, bro.
it, but
I
not
guess I got
her
the prime
in the
example of
circle.
a man that is established, but he just cannot fucking get it, bro. Tyrese Gibson. Let me explain. This man has been on since the Coca-Cola commercial. Okay? Numerous Fast and Furious movies, numerous other movies, numerous endeavors, you know, brands, all of this shit, right? That you had to go through as a man to become Tyrese Gibson right now.
Yeah.
But yet you still so lost to the point that you don't even know what type of female you want. To the point you on Instagram crying, physically crying to the world about your personal emotional problem. Like anybody give a fuck, bro. All you doing when you be that way, right? All you doing to yourself is making yourself look like an absolute ass and a fool. And on top of that, that's not attractive. That's not attractive to women, bro. It's not. Now, the women that will capitalize on that is the ones that see you as a sucker. She could, guess what? Women are great chameleons, bro. Women are great chameleons. A female, did you know what happened to Tyrese right now, like most recently? So we all know the Fast and Furious movie, Paul Walker is dead, right?
Right.
The white guy. All right,
Yeah.
so he's on live, right, with his new girlfriend. And she tells him right off top, he wasn't even the guy she really attracted to. She actually was attracted to Paul Walker. She tells him this, bro. But see, she tells him it in a way of rubbing on him at the same time. So you have to be aware of how these, now not all women, so don't get me wrong, ladies, I'm not talking about all women. You got to be aware how some of these women move, bro. And you got to know when to cut your losses and walk away. Now, this is like the third or fourth situation that Tyrese been in. Another simp of the millennium is what's the dude name that married Meghan Markle, the prince?
Oh, Harry?
Prince Harry's name, or Harry's the brother?
No,
No, it's been said.
Prince,
yeah, Harry.
simp of the millennium, bro. Yes, Dyson. Let me explain something to you, bro. I'm a fucking bro. I'm not a regular man, bro. I'm not a regular man, bro. I am a prince. Not a makeup prince. Not a makeup prince. Not a Disney movie prince. I am a real world prince, nigga. You understand me?
Right.
I have lineage, bro.
Right.
Blue blood. Okay? This is a known fact. Not within my family, but worldwide, bro. And you allow someone to come in and just change your whole entire mindset, bro.
Yeah.
That is pathetic, bro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that is the
heavy.
power. That is the power of a female if you don't know what to look for in the dating process. Not the marriage process, the dating process. Because I'm pretty sure there were numerous red flags.
speaking specifically about Harry.
We are 45 minutes in, so y'all starting to wrap up. Go ahead. Speaking about Prince Harry.
Speaking about Prince Harry, because I know we're talking about pretty much Sims and alphas, but I agree. I agree with JP, but not but I would like to add that if I was Harry, I think he really is into his woman, right? And that's great. That's really good. She seems to be down for him, and that's good
There's
too.
nothing wrong with
But
that.
my point is, if there's an issue with my staff and my wife, or my family and my wife, bro, I'm addressing that issue like head on, bro, and
Yep.
straight. And first of all, no, I can't. I haven't been a royal, so I can't say how it operates. I don't know how it operates. I don't know protocol and all that crap. But the point is, I would have went to my mother, who's my grandmother, who's the goddamn queen, and be like, listen, these MFers are disrespecting my wife, and if they continue to do this, it's gonna be a problem. So let's
Yep.
fix this crap.
Yep.
And I'm gonna do that. It don't have to be on friggin' BBC. You're gonna do this
Right,
behind closed doors. Fix this bullshit, because you're only gonna treat my wife like this.
right.
So if I was her, I would have been like, dude, you decided to run instead of facing. Because as much as I love my mom and my dad, they're not disrespecting my wife, bro. They
No.
know better than that. They would never do that because they know better than that. They know they're
Right,
gonna lose me if they try to disrespect my wife.
right,
My mother who's in the grave knows that shit. My father knows that, and anybody else in my family knows that. If you disrespect my wife and my family, you're gonna lose me. So let's address this situation. We gotta sit in the flipping. Y'all got money. Let's call a flipping conference, whatever the fuck it is. Let's get to a silent room and let's talk this shit out. Because if y'all disrespect my wife again, somebody gets knocked the fuck out.
right.
Really simple. Real simple. The problem is he's a simp. So he
Yep.
say, "Oh, you know what? You don't feel comfortable? Okay, let's all pick up and let's go." Fuck that
That's my
shit.
point.
Right,
Fuck
That's
that
my
shit.
point right there.
Fuck that shit. I'm not going nowhere. This is mine. I'm not going anywhere. This is mine.
right,
You understand what I'm
right,
saying? I'm not going anywhere. Fix this
right.
shit. Because I said so. I'm the goddamn prince. You
I
understand
think
what I'm saying? So that's how I would have handled it. I'm just saying me. That's how I would have handled it.
no, no, no. I think that's a great. I think that's a great way to end up to really drive home the point because in honesty, and I believe this, and this is anyway. I'll just say it. Um, biblically, it is that a woman is the help meet. She's there to help you progress your dreams, your aspirations. You're the
Oh,
head,
you, oh,
you're the
you,
leader.
you getting canceled tonight for saying that.
That's what it is. I say they got to cancel the whole Bible if they want to cancel me. Said I only repeating what is biblically
Good
taught.
thing JP
So
in the entertainment industry.
but what happens when the man allows the woman to lead? You have a situation. You're gonna have a situation. You're bound to have a situation. You're most likely to have a situation
Yep.
whereas that relationship is gonna go through some serious struggle, and there's gonna
Yep.
be a whole lot of
Agreed.
loss in the
Agreed.
legacy, right? Um, um, and I don't know. I can't put my finger as to exactly why it is, why the world works that way, but maybe it's because it's spiritual, maybe it's because it's biblical, but that's what it's supposed to be. The man determines which direction we're going in, right? And I believe that a woman could, you if you are if you are a well, how would I put this? If you are a good woman, then your suggestions or your campaign towards which direction you should be in will make sense to the man that you're with, and he will be able to choose to go in that direction, unless he's a simp, unless he's a Superman or Harry, then he's just going to take on your suggestion without thinking logically, without using what men have the, I would say, innate ability to do, um, and be patient, right? Figure it out and decide if that's the right direction to go in. Now, I honestly don't have a problem with Wonder Woman saving the world, and then Superman saved the world on sometimes, and then Wonder Woman saved it the other times. and it's cool. I'm not gonna feel if I'm Superman, I'm not gonna feel shown up or less than because my girl Wonder Woman saved the world this day. I think it's great. So I'm not saying that women can't go out there
Yep.
and save the world. You
Mhm.
want to get independent, do your power type stuff. But if we are coming together, and when two people come together, two different personalities, someone has to decide to say, when we sit down and we discuss these things and we power these things out, are we going to follow you or me? If we don't come to the same agreement, which direction we heading in? And so that there's not a power struggle, I believe that that should always be the alpha. I ain't say male or female, but it should be the alpha to make the decision. If it want to be someone who is more emotionally charged, so be it. Because men could be emotionally charged too, and just respond to things based on how they feeling at the time. So it ain't like we exempt from acting like, boy, I almost say something bad again. Acting like um acting like we can't control our emotions, right? But ultimately, we understand from this show, which is episode 28, Superman the Simp or Clark Kent the Alpha, that there is a destination. Ultimately, the Man of Steel had to be brought back to life. That boy get killed. He got killed, right? And I believe he got killed because Lex had a girl, right? Hostage.
Which time you talking about? He died saving the world from what's the guy's name?
I talking about the time, yeah, the time when Lex had created this was it Lex that created this monstrosity of a thing
He
and
had
then
something to do
had
with it,
had
but
the mummy and this and the that.
yeah, yeah,
And,
Superman. He had most of Superman's powers, a lot of aggression. Doomsday,
right,
Doomsday.
right, right. Let me see what he is saying. Now you're talking about good leadership, but if you let me put that
So
down.
I would, I would. What she saying? I talking about good leadership, but if you're sitting,
I agree. I
no.
agree. That's what I'm saying for you.
If you're
Like
sitting and
if
now
if
you're
you're
talking
not
about
if
good
you're not gonna
leadership,
get
but if
off
you're
your yeah,
sitting,
if you
Yeah,
Superman, you're not
absolutely.
gonna get off your butt and go and
Yeah.
save the world and the world needs saving and the woman have to go out and save it by all means. And what
Here's
should not
here's the
happen is
thing.
that the
Here's the
man
thing.
shouldn't be upset about that.
I know we try. I know we close it. We try not to make too much new points. But what I'm saying is, as Superman, it's your job to die for the world, and that's what that's the point Batman always hit him on, and that's I think that was Batman's little pet peeve because Batman knew that Superman was a simp to a certain degree. And you watch it and you watch their interactions, you watch this, read their conversations. It's always like, bro, you're the most powerful being on this planet. If anybody, if I had your power, me and Batman, if I had your power, I would probably be dead already because Batman will give his life for his city. Maybe
Right.
he's a simp, maybe he's a simp for Gotham, right? But he would give his life for his city. That's his
You
mission.
need a city
His
to live in.
and his mission, and speaking of, just to address what Rucker said about Vicky Vale and Selena Kyle, regardless of the fact that he liked Vicky Vale and Selena Kyle, he arrested Selena Kyle multiple times, as Vicky Vale was a come and go. She was like, "Are you going to leave this?" Same thing with Lois Lane said to Superman, "Are you going to leave this life for me?" And he was like, "No, I'm not leaving this life for you." And Vicky Vale could have had to carry her behind. So I'm saying, so I'm saying, so, so I'm saying, so I'm saying, that's those are stories and those are special situations. But the point is, um, we have men out here, boys, young men, who will go as far as murder to try and acquire the things that they think women want. Do I need to say that again?
go ahead.
Young men out here in the streets will go as far as murdering another male
Being super
to
simps.
try and acquire the things that they believe or to try to achieve the status they believe women want them to have.
Hmm.
That is simp behavior.
Yep.
I
That
don't care if
is
I don't care if you rob a Tingham car or armored car and get $1 million. That's simp behavior, bro.
that is encouraged by women of the street,
Yeah, and I mean it's not directly encouraged; it's kind of indirectly encouraged because
indirectly encouraged.
it's the male who decided to rob the armored car. She don't tell you rob. In every case, she don't tell you rob the armored car. You just think you need to rob an armored car
Right.
or steal
I get
steal
you.
the guy or whatever. But the point I'm making is, men, the most important thing that we as men need to do is remain first of all, find a purpose, discover what our purpose is, target that purpose, maintain that purpose, and don't
Yeah,
let anybody disrupt you from achieving your purpose. Which means you're gonna lose some friends, you're gonna lose some girlfriends,
yeah,
and if you got a
I
wife or
agree.
a girl, sometimes she's gonna get mad at you because sometimes your attention is gonna be diverted away from her. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Right,
Because you focused on what you're doing, and if she is really down for you, she can get mad, but she can understand.
right,
Okay, she can
right.
get mad. She will get mad, but she can
Yeah,
understand
if she is
because she
really down
prefers
for
you
you.
to be on your shit
If she's
than she
not
Yep.
really
prefers.
down for you, it could be a movie.
Right. She
Some other
prefers you to be. She prefers you to
some
be.
bullying is gonna take place.
She prefers you to be on your game and on your shit, even if that means sometimes disappointing her, rather than flipping out there doing shit. The woman who ain't have your best interest in heart, she's gonna want you to stop chasing your goals to come and
Yeah,
be with her.
yeah,
That's the girl who ain't good for you. That's Lois
right,
Lane.
right.
That's Lois Lane. She ain't
Yep,
good for you. I'm gonna leave that
yeah,
right there.
yep. I think that's very valuable. We got about 3 minutes to get in the last word there. One.
Oh boy, a lot has been said on the show, right? But let me add a little something here. Always remember, a man without a purpose is a dangerous man. Okay? I'll say it again. A man without a purpose is a dangerous man. And when I
Hmm.
say dangerous, I don't mean dangerous in the way of protecting and providing for somebody. I'm talking about dangerous into doing the most stupidest things because you're probably controlled by our emotions. All right?
Yeah,
And let's
yeah.
and let's be clear on this. There are some females out here that would say they prefer a more emotionally in tuned guy. And if you're that type of guy, that's all good. I'm not. It's all good. But at the same time, let's not overlook the fact that if you're not working towards your goals, if you're not working towards getting something in life, if you're not working towards bettering yourself every single day, no matter what, like Ken said, sometimes they'll get mad at you. Okay. But if you're genuinely, not generally, if you're genuinely on your purpose, no bullshitting like you faking like you want some purpose. Because there's a lot of men out here that fake like they on something. A lot. You understand? They will have you believing they doing this and they doing that, and they half stepping and bullshitting straight through.
Yep,
Okay? If you're truly out here trying to better yourself and become the best version of you that you can become, she has no choice but to appreciate that.
yep,
And if she does not appreciate that, then perhaps she's not the one for you.
yep.
But see, being a man on your purpose, you kind of, once you see it, you can't unsee it, if that makes sense. You
Hmm.
cannot unsee it, bro. Like things will become perfectly clear to you, do's and don'ts, right and wrong, like from jump,
Yeah,
from jump. I've come in contact with many guys or men that is that you know in my industry, the flooring contracting industry, that's not even in all the way. They half step, but at the same time they complain about X, Y, and Z, and 9 times out of 10, yeah, 9 times out of 10, either their wife cheat on them or will leave them. Now, I'm not saying any other man ain't that can't happen to. Of course it can.
right.
Because people grow, people change, and people are people at the end of the day. But what I'm trying to say is if you want to keep that attraction level going, two things you have to do, right? You
Hmm.
must have purpose in your life. I can't tell you what it is. I don't want to tell you what it is. You got to find out what you're actually here for. Okay. And sometimes that's not easy. It can't happen in 1, 2. Sometimes people go to 10, 15, 20 years to find out exactly what they need to do. And sometimes people get discouraged because it takes so long because we want it now. We want that instant gratification.
Yeah.
But let's keep in mind, anything that's instant, you don't really appreciate it because you don't have to work for it.
Right.
In my opinion, that is. So, in other words, and let's not forget, the most emotional men are dangerous. When you see these guys shooting up schools and murdering people and getting upset with a female and beating a female up, that's an emotional fucking man. You understand? That's not a man that's in control of his emotions and in control of the fact that, yo, I'm not saying you can't feel like you feel. You're human.
Right.
But you
You gotta
you
be able to
must
control it.
know, you must know how to put those feelings down, bro.
Hmm.
And in another group, I always say this, can't tell you, be in the same group. I always talk about logic over emotions, bro. Logic over emotions, bro.
Hmm.
Logic gives you
Speak
the
of the truth.
time to sit back,
Hmm.
analyze, and then make a decision. Emotion makes you make that decision immediately, then regret it later on.
Right.
That's what emotion does. And 9 times out of 10, that's a female's trait. A man can
Hmm.
never win an argument with a female because she is emotionally charged, bro. Your best bet is to agree and walk away. Because the more
Yeah.
times you stay there trying to prove your point over her point, you see that's dragging you right into her realm, bro. Agree to disagree and walk.
Yep.
If it's one thing a woman respect is silence.
Mm. Amen.
Silence, bro.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna
my
leave it on
last
that
word
note.
is that, yeah, appreciate that, gents. My last word is, aim to please God, not man or woman. Aim to please God. So this is episode 28 of the Sup'm Show. Superman the Simp, Clark Kent
So
the Alpha. We encourage
yeah,
you not to be a simp. The Sup'm Show encourages you not to be a simp. That's our time. We love you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week, Sunday.
take care of
Peace.
yourself.